Welcome back to the Pass the Sticks podcast, man. Today, I am joined by a returning panelist as well as a new face, and we will get into that here in just a moment. But first, we have a few topics to jump into. Firstly, um, Sony is trying their hand at a multiplayer game again, but now through a partnership through NC Soft, as Horizon Steel Frontiers has finally been revealed. This is one of two Horizon multiplayer games that they plan on releasing here in the near future that are centered around the multiplayer aspects as well. And this is the series' first leap into the MMORPG territory. Then after that, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 makes some controversial headlines as the series goes back to blurring the lines between campaign and their online modes, as well as throwing their hat into the debate over the use of generative AI for in-game assets. Arc Raiders parent company Nexon CEO says players just need to accept that AI is a part of most video games now. Yikes. Lastly, just when you think we wouldn't have to wait any longer, GTA 6 gets delayed yet again, except for this delay is in the shadow of protests over whether or not recent firings are considered union busting. We really got another episode of this podcast before GTA 6. Welcome in, everybody, and let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, like I said, I am not by myself. I am accompanied by some very, very good people. Okay, one of which has been on the show for the previous episode, did not make it to that last round, but he is looking to redeem himself on this show today. You know him, I know him. Okay, he is a part of the KXI collective. All right, and yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and let him get into it. He goes by the name of Cash Crow TV. Cash Crow, how are you tonight, man?
What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? How y'all feeling tonight? How y'all feeling?
Man, amazing. It's so good to have you back for another episode of this, man. Greatly appreciate you for taking the time out to even, pull up. Let the people know what you've been into, what you're playing, where they can find you as well.
All right, so y'all can find me on my channel, twitch.tv at CashCrowTV. What I've been playing mostly, I've been all over the place recently. So I've been playing Marvel Rivals, just got back into that game. We are launching a new kind of like show on the KXI network. It's called Play Talk Live, where it's a video game style podcast, which means it's a let's play style podcast. Let's say that.
Okay.
Where one of us is playing a game for the first time, and then we have like two other panelists with us that are just talking about the game and just the era in which that game came out, or what the hell those people were thinking about during that time. So it's different categories every episode, and the viewers get to pick ahead of time what that category would be. So one of them, the first one that we're going to work on, is Saturday morning cartoons. So we're going to pick a game that is based on a Saturday morning cartoon, and one of us will be playing that. I'm super excited for it. So so I'm a variety streamer, fighting games, shooting games, action adventure games, all that stuff. And I also have a YouTube channel where we talk about video game retrospective, so closed or defunct studios or games of yesteryear. So that was a mouthful, but I do a lot of stuff, guys.
Good. Yeah, listen, again, appreciate you for showing your face again. I can't wait to hear about that playthrough series. That sounds like a very good idea. And then also, if you're starting with a video game based off a cartoon, you must be digging way back in the catalog.
I already got the cartoon, but y'all got to stick around and see what that is.
Got you. Okay, well, we know what you're up to. And also, we have a new guest here. He has his own podcast, The Broken and the Bold. We've been on that show, so they are friends of the network here at the PvE podcast. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself, Mr. Pain and Sorrow. So good to have you on an episode, man. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Yeah. I'm doing good. Been really busy lately, though.
Yeah. How? I know you just came back from TwitchCon. How was TwitchCon, man?
TwitchCon was amazing for me. I know some people had some iffy times here and there. Things went down, but shoot, when I'm at TwitchCon, you know, I be working, I be moving booth to booth, talking with as many people as I can, learning as much stuff as I can, and I've been trying to apply a bunch of things since then, and it's been going pretty good.
Okay, that's good, man. That's good. And listen, let them know where people can find you. You know, give them whatever details about the Broken in the Bowl, whatever you want to talk about. The floor is yours right now.
So I'm a variety streamer. I'm on mainly Twitch, Kick, and TikTok every Thursday through Sunday. And then I'm posting clips on all social media. So y'all can find me on IG, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, all the works. Mr. Pain of Sorrow everywhere. I try and keep it as simple as possible. Lately, I've been playing on some Marvel Rivals. I've been loving Dispatch. If y'all like story games, that is my game of the year right now. And like nobody can tell me differently. It's been a long time since I had a game had me sit here like in the dark, just thinking about my life, just like stuck. And I won't spoil nothing for y'all, but like, man, that was a roller coaster of emotions. And I was like, I ain't felt this since, I don't know, Mass Effect back in the day, like high school for me. Like it's been a minute. And then we do played up speed runs every Sunday, and then every other Saturday, like Pizza was saying, we have the Broken and the Bold podcast that we run, where we just talk about gaming news, what's going on in people's lives, and really just try and treat it like we're hanging out for a couple hours and just talking. And then we have a tier list, which that gets pretty crazy as well. They finally got me upset on one of them. Finally did. It was about food. And not to be a big back, but yeah, they was trying to tell me Doritos wasn't like one of the #1 chips, and I'm like, come on, man, y'all tripping.
Well,
they was choosing.
It depends. Is it nacho cheese or Cool Ranch? Because
both. They eliminated both of them.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, man. I'm gonna have to pull up. I'm gonna have to pull up and tell whoever about themselves. That's unacceptable, man. But listen, appreciate you for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Very good to have you on the show. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into our topics today, and want to see what both of you guys think. But today's first topic. So earlier in the week, we had a gameplay trailer for a game that's set to release next year called Blood of the Dawnwalker. Okay, this was shown on YouTube. Now, this game is a dark fantasy action RPG built around the dual nature of its protagonist, Cohen, who's a human by day, which gives him access to gameplay mechanics and investigative tools like focus mode, a compel soul hex where you can speak with the dead. And then also, he's a vampire by night, which gives him access to vampiric traversal and combat abilities such as plane shift, shadow step, which allows him to walk on the walls, and voracious bite. This is set in the 14th century Europe during what was called the Black Death. The game frames its narrative as a sandbox where every quest is a story thread that can be played in whatever order that the player chooses to shape their own story. Combat against chaotic enemies like Barons and exploration of the plague-ridden city of, and I'm going to mess this up, I think it's Savartro, and time-advancing objectives all reinforce a world where the protagonist Cohen must choose between preserving his humanity or embracing his vampiric curse to save his family from the vampire lord Brensis. Now, my question to you both, from what was shown in this YouTube video for Blood of the Dawnwalker, does this game look prepared to compete with genre heavyweights, or is the Witcher-like DNA in this game just a little bit too heavy for it to have its own identity? Cash Crow, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts on this from what you've seen?
I think it depends. Like, so me personally, I'm the wait and see guy. Like, everybody knows this. If you know me, you know that's just like my catchphrase at this point. But why I say that is, like, I definitely see the lineage, the Witcher lineage throughout this game. But I'm still waiting to see if they can do something that strikes me as different from their pedigree, if that makes any sense. Right. So I want to see more, but if it is somewhat similar to Witcher, I wouldn't mind, because like there could be far worse games for you to, like, you know, emulate.
Of course. So
okay, I don't mind.
Okay, that's a good answer. And now over to you, Mr. Pain and Sorrow. What were your thoughts on the game from what you saw?
right now, to me, it looks like it still needs a lot of polishing done.
Right. Yeah.
The character seemed a little stiff. If they are trying to emulate The Witcher, that is the perfect person to try and emulate. I'm hoping that they can get it going. Lately, vampire games have been failing left, right, and center,
Really?
and I want them to succeed. This one has a lot of potential, but like the last really good vampire game was what, maybe Vampire.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, if with him being so stiff, the story's gonna have to do a lot of the carrying right now, because you
Yeah.
know a lot of people are gonna complain like, oh man, I couldn't do this, or I died because blah blah blah, and it's gonna drag it down. But they polished that up, speed it up just a little bit. The way he carries the sword was kind of off a little bit,
Okay.
but I think they could fix that. It's not impossible to fix the things that I'm complaining about,
Yeah.
and I want it to succeed. That's why I'm kind of nitpicking it a little bit.
Okay. And that's fair. From what I saw though, I mean, I was impressed just by more so the story aspects of it. You know, interweaving a game where, depending on the time of day, will determine like the NPCs that you have access to, or the dialogue options that you have access to, or the power set that you have access to. It gives you different ways to play the same story, and I love any game where you can play the same thing over and over and get a different result almost every time. That's one of the main reasons why I'm looking forward to this. I haven't finished The Witcher 3, but one of the strongest things that stood out about The Witcher 3 was the way that some of the side missions kind of were interwoven into the main story, the character's main story. I think of the Bloody Baron at the near the beginning of The Witcher 3, where there were, you know, they were talking about the Baron's daughter and wife being missing, and then you go and do some investigating around the area and find out that they are, you know, part of some witch code, and etc. and so forth. I don't want to spoil too much, but I love games like that where if you do the work, you can be rewarded. So definitely looking forward to that game. Can't wait for that to release. The next topic that we have for you all here now. Like I said earlier, Sony is trying their hand at another multiplayer game. They've had one hit with Helldivers 2, and then of course, you know, whatever happened with Concord, which we're going to be talking about here later in the episode as well. But they're supposed to have two multiplayer games that are releasing centered around the Horizon series, and one of them, of course, was revealed earlier this week. It's called Horizon Steel Frontiers. This marks the franchise's first jump into a full-scale MMORPG. Now, this isn't developed by a PlayStation studio. This is in a partnership with NCSoft and Guerrilla Games. So not just Guerrilla Games doing the work on this. This is set in an area called the Deadlands, an open region that's inspired by Arizona and New Mexico. The game casts each character as a machine hunter, taking on massive mechanical creatures through coordinated group combat, kind of like Monster Hunter. And if you've played through the main stories, right, you bump into plenty of machine hunters throughout the story, you know, Aloy being one of them, the most prominent of which. But the trailer emphasizes strategic dismantling of machine parts, using pull casts to access weak points and for mobility purposes, and repurposing drop machine parts as weapons later in fights. Customization is extensive, allowing players to build characters based on established tribes in the Horizon universe and tailor appearances down to fine details from that universe. Now, with all that being said, do you think that Horizon's tribes and their general game direction will translate into a good player-driven customization that's going to be enough to differentiate itself from other established IPs in this gaming genre, such as Monster Hunter? Of course, we're going to have Cash Crow go first. What do you think of what you saw and the customization elements, and how can this kind of separate itself from Monster Hunter?
I don't know. I feel like this looks like more of the same when it comes to Horizon, in my opinion. I think I want to see like actual gameplay though. From what we
True,
saw,
true.
it was just a lot of like cinematics. So I want to see
Mhm,
what the game looks like in practice.
mhm.
Um, as it as it stands for like Monster Hunter, though, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
This feels like more of the same with Monster Hunter when you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
But it's just with mechs at this point. It's like
Mhm.
but it's an MMORPG. So I'm also thinking about like, even though it's more survival, Arc.
Ah, yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
So
Mhm.
I don't know. I want to see more. It's just it's hard for me to quantify or think about what to expect from this game just yet. Um, but like I said, I want to see more. Cinematics is just not going to be enough for me moving forward. Like I've gotten
Okay.
hyped over cinematics in the past, but and it didn't really pan out. I've seen so many like dope cinematics, and when the game finally drops, games. So I want to see gameplay.
Okay.
I will hold any comments until gameplay.
All right, that is fair. Okay. And now, Mr. Pain and Sorrow, from what you saw, what are your thoughts on this as well?
Well, I'm excited for it a little bit because I
Okay.
am a Monster Hunter fan.
Okay.
I guess my first real Monster Hunter game would have been World. I
Okay.
played
Okay.
some of the ones back in the day, but it was like, hey, let me play on your PSP real quick type of thing. But I think this is the right company to tackle something like this.
Uh-huh.
They have not let us down with a Horizon game yet as far as gameplay goes. They
Mhm.
usually have it like pretty like on point.
Mm.
And the other thing I like about them is they're not afraid to like branch out and work with other people.
Yeah.
So we could have a crossover with Monster Hunter. I could be wrong, but I feel like they've already done skins because I know they did Final Fantasy skins.
Yeah, they did.
And
They
I think
did.
they did Assassin's Creed skins. And I want to say, I thought they did a Horizon skin for this already.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
this is like a good company that isn't like straight up competing against Monster Hunter. They're just adding to the monster hunting genre and it's
Mhm.
keeping it alive. And competition helps all games grow. This is my personal opinion, I guess, but the reason like the Maddens and the 2Ks haven't been doing as well as far as gameplay wise, I guess, is because there's no competition anymore. I was like,
Yep.
back in the day,
Yep.
you would
Yep.
have one game would come out, you had like what it looked like when you were inside the helmet. On 2K, you had the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, and the floor view. So they were, when they were actively competing, they were innovating and coming up with new things left and right. Now, when a new one comes out, they don't really have much of anything. So,
Mhm.
with Horizon coming out with this, the sky's the limit because they already invent so much stuff already. All the hairstyles I'm imagining that you're gonna have, the
Mhm.
different armor sets, the color sets,
Mhm.
different weapons. Traversing is gonna be crazy.
Mhm.
Like they, if they fail, they will only have themselves to blame. That's
I
what I'll
agree.
say on that one.
I
It
agree.
means they got complacent.
I agree. And my thing is, I don't think that they are reinventing the wheel, which to an extent is not necessary, right? Putting your own Horizon spin on this, um, to an extent would be good enough, but also to Cash Crow's point, I need to see more gameplay. Things look nice, but what kind of takes me out of MMORPGs is the voice acting, either the quality of the voice acting or the quality of maybe like the animations and things of that nature. If they can find a way to make this immersive, I could see this being successful, especially since the last news that I heard about Monster Hunter, people were wanting the game fixed in a number of different ways, and they were responded to with a collaboration with KFC. Um, so you know, with the way that things are going with Monster Hunter Wilds, I mean, there could be an opening where if they take care of their player base, if this, you know, hits correctly, if the gameplay matches, you know, the looks, because I mean, the graphics, it looks scalable. It doesn't, you know, it's not going to be as high fidelity as the mainline, you know, Zero Dawn, Forbidden West games, but if they can nail the look, the art style, if they can nail game direction and gameplay aspects, the gameplay mechanics, I can see this doing well. So we'll have to wait and see, what more they show, and see if they can win over people that are on the fence, like myself and Cash Crow, when it comes to this genre, because it's not crowded just yet. But if you're not presenting something fresh to the audience, they're not going to have a reason to jump into this, especially if you're going to charge a premium for it. Like if it's a game that you have to buy up front and then you also have a store and amongst other things, yeah, it could definitely be a slippery slope. But on to our next topic now. To no one's surprise, GTA 6 has been delayed to November 19th, exactly 1 year from today, November 19th, 2026, earlier this month. If you're a fan of Rockstar games at this point, this is almost an expectation. I mean, Red Dead 2 was originally set for release, I think, the second half of 2017, and then was pushed back 6 months to the first half of 2018 before it got a second delay to its final release date of October 26, 2018. GTA 5, Bully, LA Noire, Max Payne 3, they all had multiple delays. Now, what kind of saved them from criticism was it was worth the wait. GTA 5 was worth the wait. Red Dead 2 was well worth the wait. So even though they have these delays, they are known for pushing out quality content, quality games. Now, about this specifically, with this date being set to November of next year, as we heard earlier in the year, Wolverine was set to release during November of this year, and they were hoping that there was enough space and time that, people could enjoy the story of GTA 6, and then, if comic book superheroes was your thing, you can kind of jump into that. But now that they are taking up the space that Marvel's Wolverine was supposed to be in, what happens to Marvel's Wolverine? And then also, are you of the belief that GTA is massive enough to where it's essentially going to squash any other competition like Call of Duty or any of the yearly releases that year in and year out, for better or worse, are consistently in the top 10 in sales on each console? Firstly, I want to go to you, Cash Crow. What are your thoughts on this as well?
That's not even a question, bro. That's not even a question, bro.
I figured you were gonna say that, yeah.
Bro, so let me explain something to you. So let's take a look at this year, right?
Yeah.
What happened this year? We had a bunch of games came out at the latter half of this year. Why did that happen? Because everybody was trying to do what? Stay the. Can I curse on your show? My bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I said it. My bad. But yes, to stay away from Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
That's why.
No, that's facts.
Only
that is
reason
facts.
why.
That is facts.
Right? And I don't think Grand Theft Auto, I don't think this is going to change. Like, nobody is less excited for Grand Theft Auto. If anything, you're more excited now. People are more ravenous. Bro, so I've said this on my podcast this past Sunday. Like, we're going to have a Call of Duty holiday, not Call of Duty, a Grand Theft Auto holiday when that game drops. I hope you know that. November 19th is going to be Grand Theft Auto Day because it's calling out from work.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of bosses are gonna hear I can't come in today because yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that, bro. It's gonna be a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm setting in my PTO ASAP. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even wanna have to think about work that day. That whole day is just gonna be really that whole weekend. Luckily, it's if this is a Wednesday, it's gonna be Thursday.
Cultural thing, bro. Grand Theft has gotten to the point where it is a cultural experience.
Facts. No,
so it's going to blow anybody. Wolverine does not stand a chance. I'm sorry, Logan, but you dead, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. If anything, I would probably push this game back till the following year. Like I would stay clear.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
just stay away from it. I think. Was it you that asked me that question?
I did. Whenever I was watching your podcast, I was like, yeah, you guys think, what do you guys think? Everybody was like, yeah, no, there's no shot.
No.
That or anybody competes.
Bro, it is one of the most sold pieces of media ever.
Facts. Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5. How much billions? It's made billions, bro. A video game made billions with a B.
And Mr. Pain and Sorrow, what are your thoughts on this as well, man?
Oh man, I think the best thing Wolverine can do is try and release early, depending on, you know
Oh.
what they should do is figure out how long it takes to beat their game, and by beat their game, platinum it, get all trophies, blah blah blah. And whatever that is, release your game that far ahead of Grand Theft Auto, because as soon as GTA's out, it's not leaving. If you get the disc, it's not coming out. If it's downloaded, we're just rest mode. It's, man,
Yeah.
I still remember when 5 came out, I was in Korea with the army at the time.
Okay.
And all of us was pretty much ready to leave duty to go get this game. And I was like, I really hope we don't get attacked right now, because it's going to be a hard decision on picking up GTA or going to do what I'm supposed to be doing. But even when they delay, Rockstar has not put out anything bad in a long time. And then even when something bad is attached to their name, it's not something they did. It's something that Take-Two has done, or one of the studios that tried to do their remake. What was it? The GTA 3 Vice City San Andreas. Yeah,
the remasters of all of those. Yeah, that was terrible. That ended up being terrible. No, I definitely get it. I definitely get it. My thing is, like, first off, I'm not surprised, right? I'm not surprised. They always delay it. I had high hopes that we would be able to play it for the summer, you know, in the summertime, and actually be able to enjoy it. But I'm hoping that this is the last delay. And yeah, 100% Wolverine does need to move. It's just not going to stand a chance. I mean, Wolverine as a character has been around longer, and I mean, in other forms of media is arguably, possibly almost as big, but GTA the series is just it's big in music, it's big in technology, it's big in video games, it's big in you know, parodying like the movie series or the movie scene as well. And this is based in Florida, so anything in and around, you know, the Miami area and things of that nature, people are going to want to jump in, and that's not even including the online mode that's soon to come, you know, after the release and things like that. So I definitely think that Wolverine, I'm sorry, you got to push it to 2027. I would like it if it's done enough, definitely push it up to where we could get through it before GTA 6. But honestly, I think that would be a little bit too risky, because like if you push it before GTA 6, there's people that's going to be saving their money for GTA 6 specifically. And if they have to choose between Marvel's Wolverine and GTA 6, whether it comes out instead of, you know, November, they push it up to May or something like that, where GTA 6 was going to be at first, even then people are like, you know, I kind of want to make sure I have the special super deluxe edition of GTA 6. And then on top of that, on top of the digital version, I'm trying to get the physical edition as well. And then that's not even including that, you know, people are going to get it on both on console, and then, you know, once it eventually releases on PC as well. So I just think that it's a better financial decision if you give GTA 6 the rest of that year. Okay, if they can sweep the game awards and, you know, whatever else, etc. and so forth, and then going into next year, maybe like around March or something like that, give it some time to kind of die down. People have had, you know, conversations and YouTube videos explaining the you know, Easter eggs and, you know, whatever else, because there's going to be all kinds of things, not even just story related, that's going to be in this game that people are going to be discovering. And that's assuming that they don't have any DLC planned for this as well. So definitely push it, but you know, this news, it comes at a weird time, right? So we're gonna go into our next segment, which is the buy or sell segment, where basically we're gonna go through a bunch of different topics, and you guys are gonna tell me, do you buy or do you sell, you know, the idea of this? Are you bearish? Are you bullish on this idea regarding this gaming topic, right? And so going into Rockstar Games, they are currently facing a legal challenge from the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain after dismissing over 30 employees in the UK and in Canada. Terminations, excuse me, Rockstar have attributed to quote unquote gross misconduct, which has not been defined in any way, shape, or form. But they say this involves alleged leaks of confidential information on Discord. Now, the IWGB claims that these firings were not about leaks, but a targeted effort to dismantle emerging unionization efforts, noting that those that were dismissed were union members, and many of them were senior staff, and even individuals that were on sick or paternity leave. Now, according to accounts from an alleged validated employee, this is taken with a grain of salt, the private Discord discussions focus solely on organizing and working conditions, and the fired workers were denied union representation, violating UK's employment law. The union argues Rockstar acted preemptively as it neared its 10% membership threshold required for collective bargaining. Collective bargaining is once you get a certain amount of members a part of the union, they essentially have to renegotiate their contract with the labor union, essentially. So they didn't want to. They wanted to avoid that, which is why they're accusing them of letting them go, so that they didn't have to renegotiate. But while employees report morale at unprecedented lows, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of crunch going on. Rockstar, meanwhile, denies these accusations, but the dispute intensifies against the backdrop of a newly announced delay of GTA 6 to late 2026 that we just spoke about earlier, with no concrete public evidence definitively proving either side right or wrong. The case sits at the intersection of labor rights, corporate control, and the pressure surrounding one of the industry's biggest upcoming releases. Now, if both sides have incentives to withhold the full truth, how should players who aren't necessarily as tapped into, devs and the dev cycle and working conditions and crunch culture and things like that, how should players evaluate this controversy without any concrete evidence going either way? And do you think this changes how consumers will view Rockstar's leadership going forward? Cash Guard, I know that was a mouthful, but I want to hear you first. What are your thoughts on not only the firing of who may be unionized, but also pairing that with the announcement of the delay as well?
So when I first heard this, we actually talked about this on the podcast. So when we first heard this, right, I didn't really think anything of it until I did some more digging. And the more I read, the more it seemed like it was union busting. It's seeming more and more like that's what this is. Especially since a lot of the people, well, there was an insider, some kind of inside source that said that they had a Discord, and that Discord was comprised of only Rockstar employees, and throughout that entire Discord, it was only strictly talking about unionizing. There was no leaks. There was nothing of that sort about in that Discord. It's just all about unionizing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It begs the question, like, what exactly was those? What leaks are they referring to? Is it the leaks from like a couple of years ago? Or are we talking about something different? I don't know what this is. But they also signed a petition, like current Rockstar employees, I think Rockstar North, over 200 people signed a petition to have those people, the people who were fired, have their jobs reinstated.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is coming from Games Industry Biz. I read this earlier today, and I think there was another article from yesterday about it. But yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully they get their jobs back. And going into this, Pain and Sorrow, man, what are your thoughts on everything? Does it seem a little fishy? Is there smoke where fire is? What are your thoughts?
Without proof from who actually did what, it's kind of hard to like really have a concrete like feeling for either side.
Yeah.
Because if you're a big company like Rockstar, leaks can be super detrimental. Because as we see, whenever they announce when they want to release a game, it changes the entire industry. Or GTA, and I'll even say Red Dead. These are games that usually adults play. They're usually rated M. But even Nintendo has to change when they're going to release something, because nobody wants to compete with a GTA, Red Dead, or any Rockstar property. So they need to like make sure people are on the up and not causing any leaks that could cost them money, even though we know they're going to make that money. Which is where I'm like, okay, it's kind of maybe an overreact when you just start firing people.
Right.
Now, the person who does a leak or whatever, why would you do it? Maybe you're trying to make some extra money. You got some insider information, or maybe like you told somebody not to say anything. You let them know what you're working on, what's coming through, and then that person says something, whatever. Now it just cost a bunch of people their jobs. And unless somebody comes out and like, okay, yeah, I was the one who leaked it, you will probably never really know.
True.
And then like when you're making billions of dollars, I don't think it's right to just fire people like that. There's other things you could do, like this is your final project working under us unless we figure out who the leak is, or something else I feel like could have been done. Whoever was running the Discord, I believe they have a way of tracking who are members and who aren't members, even if they leave. I believe there's some kind of history that's tracked on that. So they could have narrowed this down. Ultimately, I'm hoping they can settle this so that people aren't forced to try and pick a side, because unfortunately we all want to play GTA. And I don't think we're gonna side with a couple people who were fired because of a leak. Now, if it was something like what happened with Activision and Blizzard, where there was assaults and other misconduct, then that's a little bit easier to choose sides. But on something like this, it's really hard. The lines get super blurred.
Yeah, I agree. And so just to kind of go into the leak, at least the leak that I'm aware of, so that those two situations are two different things. They found out that the guy that essentially leaked the gameplay, we was like an alpha and things of that nature, he was a part of a hacker group called Lapsus, and this guy, he threw his life away essentially, because he's in a mental institution, but he was a part of a group called Lapsus, and he was able to get into Slack. He was able to hack into Slack and get a hold of that. But not only that, when he got caught, he was in I think they had him in a stationed at a hotel, trying to transfer him to a jail facility. But while he was at the hotel, he had access to a Amazon Fire Stick, and he was able to hack into Slack again through the Fire Stick that they gave him at the hotel. And so they had to move him out the hotel. They did an interview with him, and they were trying to see if he was mentally fit to even really join society again. And they asked him, hey, you know, have you learned your lesson? Would you do something like this again? And he said, in a moment's notice, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, if I am able to hack into them, if I'm able to hack, I'm going to do this all over again. And so now he is in a mental home. So, but yeah, those are two different situations. You know, maybe one of the employees led to the hacker getting access to it, but I mean, honestly, if you can get into Slack through an Android Fire Stick, I don't think you need anybody. I don't think you need an insider to do that. So,
right.
But yeah, so hopefully they get their jobs back, man. I think it's a little crappy.
So something I wanted to point out, right? I think the reason, so because when we were reporting it, we only had the information that the game was getting delayed, and then we learned that people got laid off, and then it begged the question, right? What if this pushback was a result of them kind of getting ahead of this whole firing situation, and they knew that this would have been a bigger news,
so
bigger
people
coverage,
start covering the
them,
delay over
the layoff, exactly, covering the layoff.
Even crappier.
That's where my mind went with this situation. It was either so it's there's so many variables here, and there's so many ways that this could be a result of that. So it's like we don't know what to think. We have no idea until like the truth comes out, because we don't know why these people got let go.
True. Yeah, that is true. I mean, they're alleging that, but like I said, there's definitely smoke. Like it's a smoking gun right now, and I feel like the more investigating that they do. I don't know how well that goes over for Rockstar, and if it doesn't go over well for Rockstar, what does that mean for GTA 6 as well? If they have to come off of lawyer fees and, you know, et cetera and so forth to deal with the union situation, the union busting situation. So, like I said, I hope that they're able to get reinstated. I don't think that it's right if they did not do it. Now, if they did leak information, of course, you know, the accountability first, you know, you got to take responsibility for what you did, but I just don't think that that's the case. But moving on to the next topic, this has been the talk of the town ever since it dropped out of nowhere, seemingly, but Valve is re-entering the living room PC space with a new SteamOS-powered Steam engine built around the AMD Zen 4 and a semi-custom RDNA 3 GPU. The compact cube-shaped system is over six times faster than the Steam Deck and targets 4K 60 performance with FSR upscaling. Wow. The device emphasizes thermal efficiency, quiet operation, and living room friendly design, using a single custom 120mm fan and a power supply as chassis internal layout. Storage and RAM are upgradable, though the RAM swaps are difficult. And SteamOS plus Proton ensure broad compatibility with Windows titles, albeit with lingering limitations around certain anti-cheat systems. With configurable SSD sizes, optional micro SD expansion, and an undetermined but likely expensive price, honestly, likely expensive price for its 2026 release, Valve aims to deliver a streamlined and approachable gaming PC for console players. My question for you both, with Xbox essentially shifting focus from hardware to software, aside from the basically identical description of what they said their next Xbox console was going to be, and with PlayStation exclusives currently being available on Steam, how does this change the console landscape going forward? Cash Crow, I want to hear your thoughts.
I think this could be a major shift in like console and what we perceive consoles to be in the future.
Yeah.
Meaning, reason being, I think this is not the first time Steam has actually done something like this.
Yeah.
This is actually their second attempt. But I think they've learned from their first foray into this space.
Right.
And now one thing that they have that I think is really good is their OS. And the OS is actually what they're going to use to push this whole thing forward.
Yeah.
I love this so here's the crazy thing. Beforehand, I actually wanted to build a living room PC.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna put the Steam OS on it, right? And then I saw this and I was like, I'm getting this shit. I want this. This is what I want. Now, a lot of people are saying, so we had Reaper on the show, shout out to Reaper PC, and he was breaking down the specs because now I'm a nerd, guys, but I'm not a tech nerd. Okay.
Yeah.
So we needed somebody who was like, that's their shtick.
Right.
And he essentially said, even though it may not seem as powerful as like a base PS5 or whatever, it will definitely be optimized for gameplay because it's still a full-on PC. It's a full-on PC. Like right now with that clip, this guy is actually developing games on that device. So it's going to be powerful enough to like run games.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're also waiting for enough consumers on this product in order for them to then kind of like put the squeeze on whoever is in charge of like the anti-cheats.
Right.
I think that's they need enough people on the platform because they did say that they intend to see people play a lot of like multiplayer games and online shooters or online games on this device as opposed to what they would see on the Steam Deck because the Steam Deck's are portable, so you're less likely to have that kind of traffic. But with this, they're actually expecting that kind of traffic, and I really think that this game is it has a lot of potential to like push the console industry forward. Because think about the person who instead of buying a console, they would buy this instead, depending on the price though.
Yeah.
Because this is their gateway into like PC gaming.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Now, right?
Definitely.
Right. And now let's just remember, consoles are not going anywhere. Consoles are not going to go anywhere. Like it's just not, because it's the easiest way to get into gaming. But if you can find another way, an easier way, but still get like the high quality and what you would expect from like PC games, people are going to go for it. Again, it also comes down to a price. So they said that they weren't aiming for a console price, but more of a they said living room PC, I think is what they said. I'm paraphrasing, but more of like a living room PC price. That could be anything from 800 to like 1200.
Yeah,
We don't know
that's
what
facts.
that is.
That's facts.
Because if we look at the ROG, Xbox, Ally X, and Jesus, they need to work on their naming convention. But the ROG is actually pretty good, but the pricing is what's killing it right now. If you ask anyone right now about the ROG, Xbox, Ally X, they'll tell you like this looks sick, but I'm not shelling out $1,000 for this.
Yeah, and that's fair.
And in this economy,
nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right? So
Mr. Pain and Sorrow, man, I know that you spoke about this on your podcast as well. What do you think the addition of a new and revamped Steam living room PC, how that affects the console space going forward?
I think like what Cash was saying, the big thing will be price, because if you go too high, someone's going to say, well, I might as well buy a PC or build a PC for that point. However, with everything that you're getting from this, I know a bunch of people who the only reason they do console gaming and not PC is because they say PCs are too complicated. So now we have something where you get your PC games, but it acts like a console. So you're getting the best of both worlds. And then the other thing I'm seeing right now, which this is going to be one of the best Christmas gifts ever, because they're going to package, you get the 2 controllers, you get the VR and the VR headset and all this stuff for like way cheaper than like when VR and all that stuff first came out, and just dive straight into a bunch of these things. And I know for me personally, if and when I get it, now when I go to travel somewhere, I might be taking this with me. So when we have a TwitchCon or a DreamHack or something like that, if I want to like stream at the hotel or wherever, Airbnb, wherever I'm staying, I just hook this thing up and like I'm ready to go, get right back into it, because they already got the cloud saving, I think, pretty much perfected, because I'm able to take like I have a Rogue Ally, so I can play like my Steam game, save in the cloud, pick up the Rogue Ally and start playing with that. So now you almost never have to be disconnected from your Steam games at the least.
Very convenient.
Game Pass games as well. Epic games, I'm not 100% sure on. Ubisoft games, you definitely can with cloud saves. So I'm like, now you almost never have to be away, and the quality's getting up, because before, you know, you might only get 720 or whatever. These is getting 4K and possibly higher. So I think as long as they have like follow what the other consoles have done. So we had the PS5, then we have the PS5 Pro. You got the Series S, you got the Series X. I think they should have like, I don't know, Steam Machine version 1, Steam Machine Pro or whatever.
What were you?
My bad. No, my bad. So there, it's actually modular. It's semi-modular. So you can the storage, you can
change it.
Change out the storage.
Yeah.
And what else? There's something else you can change.
I think the RAM.
The RAM. You can change the RAM as well. Yeah.
The storage and RAM. But when I'm saying with the changes, so we would have like, I don't know, a 5070 and then a 5090, maybe a 5080 if you want 3 different tiers, or if you get them custom built. But like, since it's all in a cube, I just don't know how much you can actually take it apart, put it back together, which I'm 99.9% sure we're gonna see a bunch of videos of that, me taking
pretty soon.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, I took the machine apart to see if I could do blah blah blah.
Exactly. No, I definitely agree. And to you,
there's the I was gonna say, it also has the display port. So you're gonna have there's already adapters, because I use one as well, where you can go from an HDMI to a display port and vice versa. So you're going to have that quality images as well. This is just what I was gonna add.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like this is good for the console space. I mean, it's kind of bad for Xbox just because they, like I said, they got beat to the punch. But you know, what are they going to do? They're focusing more on software anyways, and I feel like that's kind of where the shift is going in general. I know that PlayStation has been working on a launcher since at least like 2022, I want to say. They first started like recruiting for that around that time, and it's been about 3 or so years. So with Steam having their own product and PlayStation's exclusives being available on there, the pressure is on them to at least have their own means, their own portal to offer their exclusive products. So
But here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker, though. PlayStation just said that they might be pulling back a little from PC games. Yeah, since the announcement of Steam. Why do you think that is?
Because
I'll give you.
people are going to go for this. Yeah, they're going to go for this Steam product. If I can, and this is what's going to separate the Sony ponies, as they call them, from just regular gamers, right? Because a person like myself, I mean, I don't consider myself a pony, but like I like to stay up to date with some of the PlayStation exclusives. So when the new God of War drops, I want to be able to play it day one. When the new Last of Us, when the Heritage Prophet, Intergalactic the Heritage Prophet, when that drops, I want to be able to play it day one. That's what's going to separate people. If people aren't as enamored with Xbox exclusives, if they aren't as enamored with PlayStation exclusives, they can wait that year and a half, 2 years. I'll drop, you know, $900 for the Steam console. Not only that, not only be able to play the PlayStation, the Xbox games, but if my friends are playing Repo, I can actually join now. I don't have to wait for the console port of these PC games. I can just load in and play from my Steam console. So that is going to be extremely attractive to a person that has a lot of PC friends. That's going to be extremely attractive to a person that does not want to buy every single console. You know, the combo right now for me is PC and PlayStation 5, because I can get Game Pass on PC. I have Steam and all these other launchers on PC. And then if I want to play something day one on PlayStation, I'll just go ahead and fire up the PlayStation. But if somebody has access to literally everything in one place, they're going to be less motivated to get the PS6. They're going to be less motivated to get the PS5, PS5 Pro when it's $100 off on Black Friday. You know what I mean? So definitely changing the landscape up. And I definitely see, like, to what you said, yeah, they're definitely going to have to pull back and, you know, readjust how they approach PC going forward.
Right. So
it probably will come down to
price,
how soon you want to play that game on a day one. How soon are you afraid of spoilers? How soon are you ready to jump into something?
And I think PC players are patient.
No, for sure. Yeah. The PC master race people, you know, they let people enjoy their fun, and then once it comes, they're like, sure, I mean, I'm sitting here playing God of War Ragnarok, and it's just as good as if it. They're not fazed.
And that's because they also get like the best package once it finally comes to PC. Because not only do you get the game without the bugs, not only are you getting the game with all the DLC already out, you also are getting the game that's ready to be modded. So you get even more out of it than what the original console person was getting. Because I don't know how many, I think GTA 5 probably had the most mods I've ever seen in the game. So much so that you have a whole 5M with the RP going on. It created a whole genre, essentially.
That'd be crazy.
And then the Spider-Man mods have been crazy. The God of War mods were crazy. Last of Us mods went crazy. And like the Last of Us 2 even, they what did they do? I want to say when they released it, it was only like 1080p or something like that. There was some issue they had with the Last of Us Part 2. But the mods fixed all of that. And it was like, well, they didn't have none of those problems. So you just get a better package on PC sometimes.
Yeah. Or they turn Spider-Man into a multiplayer game.
Yeah. Oh my God. Man. That's a whole nother thing, man. And speaking of online, the biggest way this is going to hurt these companies, you don't have to pay a monthly subscription for Steam.
There you go. I totally forgot about that too.
This is going to be detrimental for the people that are trying to keep up with their PlayStation Plus, keep up with their $30 a month for Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass.
I used to get it through my provider, and now they dropped it, so now I got to cancel that shit.
But this is going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. And if they have that option where you don't have to pay for online just to play the game, they're going to have to respond somehow. So it's going to be interesting to see how Sony responds and how Xbox responds in their own way. So Very
Yeah.
interesting, very interesting. We're going into our quick fire round now. And basically this is just gonna be, just a quick little nuggets that have happened that aren't like significant in any way, but it's something that happened, right? And so,
Right.
for example, the first topic that we have, excuse me, the first topic that we have though is the fact that Concord.
Wow.
I didn't think that I would be saying anything about Concord in the year of 2025 after that game released and was taken out less than a week. It was taken out of stores less than a week, and the studio shut down. But here we are. Basically, Concord, that was the PlayStation PC exclusive live service hero shooter, and it was one of Sony's most public disasters last year that collapsed immediately after launch, prompting Sony to shut down developer Fireworks Studios and abandon the game entirely. Despite its corporate burial, since a build was first discovered in June this year, I think it was I want to say it was like August of 2023 was the latest build that they found at that point in time. But since then, a group of dedicated modders, going back into Mr. Pain and Sorrow's point about modders, but they found a way to reverse engineer the back end and successfully played their first match on the newly built fan servers. The game is it's functional, but it's a bit buggy, and the team plans to run private playtests as they continue to rebuild the infrastructure. This revival highlights both Sony's failed live service strategy to this point and the broader issue of games being permanently erased when publishers pull the plug. Now, in regards to this, was Concord's failure really about the game quality itself, or was it doomed from the moment that Sony forced it into an overcrowded market like the live service hero shooter market? Cash Crow, I want to start with you.
I'm very surprised that people actually still enjoyed this game, to be honest with you. Like, I was taken aback when I actually saw that the other day. I was like, wait, what? Isn't that like the second or the third? No, this was the third time, because I feel like they tried to bring it back prior. They killed it, and now they're killing it again. Like, Concord just seems it's the game that refuses to die, pretty much.
Yeah.
By better or for worse, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like this game was it was done by committee, number one. I don't think there was a lot of people apparently loved the game, but there was just something missing from this game. For me personally, I feel like this game lacked the soul. It just felt
I agree.
very corporate and just by the numbers shooter. They wanted to. Every studio nowadays, and I need to finish writing this article that I've been working on, but ever since Fortnite, everybody has been trying to get that piece of that pie. And they just want that pay pig that they could just constantly just milk. Nobody's focused. Like, think about it.
Facts.
It's less focused on like single player experiences. They're just more focused on a game like Fortnite, because they can have like people constantly come back and spend money on battle pass, buy skins, buy gun colors, and it's just that's all they're focused on. They're trying to move away. This is why we have so many free to play games now. They're trying to move away from these games that they can put money into and just make these free to play games so people can just come here and just spend money, because now they've just basically casino-fied gaming. That's what they want. That's what these industry leaders want, essentially. This is why I gotta send love to like indie devs and now AA, because AA is actually taking over right now, bro. They're gonna take the place of AAA for sure. 100%.
Shout out to the studio behind Expedition 33, man. You know what I mean? It was a group of previous Ubisoft developers got together, made the game that they wanted to, because the AAA studio didn't want to, and now here we are having Game of the Year discussions. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember them saying that they brought an idea, like the in its infancy, they brought Expedition 33 to Ubisoft, like the heads of Ubisoft, and they basically shot them down. And when they left, they made the game. And look, everybody loved the game.
And now you, Mr. Pain and Sorrow, what are your thoughts on this, man? Why do you think this game failed, and what are your thoughts of them trying to revive the game?
Well, since we're talking about Ubisoft members, I already said my game of the year was Dispatch. they also had ex-Ubisoft members.
Really? I did not
And
know that.
yeah. And I was like, man, I was like, somebody at the head of Ubisoft is messing up,
Yeah, somebody's
because
fumbling the
2 of my
bag.
favorite games this year had a bunch of their ex people. But the biggest problem I see with this and the live service genre altogether is, if you are making a live service game with the intention of just making money and you don't care about nothing else, I think that's when it's failing.
Yeah.
Live service games where they care about the IP and they care about the product, it seems that it does way better and people have way more fun with it.
Mhm.
You brought up
Rivals.
Fortnite.
Facts.
So Fortnite, even though, you know, everyone's paying V-Bucks and all that stuff,
Mhm.
they continuously pump out content. They're continuously trying to get more and more people in the game. We got, like, I don't know, rappers, we got cartoons, we got comics, different
Facts.
movies.
Mhm.
Like, if it's an IP, they're trying to get it into Fortnite, because they want whatever you enjoy in the real world, they want it in Fortnite. So much so that even different game modes, you got Guitar Hero in Fortnite now.
Yeah,
You
facts.
got like
Facts.
the Hot Wheels racing in Fortnite now. You got Mario Kart racing.
Mhm.
Like, any type of game type of thing, they're trying to put it into Fortnite so they keep you in their ecosphere, or whatever you want to call it.
Right, right.
Now,
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals, it's, I think, with the outfits and the voiceover work, it's like somebody in there really enjoys Marvel content, and they really enjoy when they release a new character, seeing how we react to it.
Yeah.
Now, they are a little bit money hungry, a little bit, with all the different types of money, or like, you got the gold you pay, the blue stuff you pay, and the purple stuff you pay.
Right.
But one thing they do that I absolutely love is they get rid of FOMO, the fear of missing out. So if you buy that battle pass, you own
you
that
own it for
battle
the end of
pass,
time. Yeah.
so you don't have to worry about it going away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now with Concord, it just, from the get-go, it just seemed like it was going to be a money pit. They just wanted to make money. And the first trailer I remember seeing on it, I think it was either the last E3 or one of the state of plays or something like that. And I was like, it has potential. And I was like, I'd probably play it, but I was like, I wouldn't pay full price for this. And then, God, I didn't, because it was closed within a week. And as of 2 days ago, even, the people who were trying to put it together, they've been getting DMCA strikes, and Sony's apparently lawyering up to try and shut down the entire project of them trying to put it together with the little playtest servers. So it's like, well, if I can't make money on it, you can't
Nobody
either.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if you work with these people, you potentially could re-release the game, because this has already been done before, and it was a game that I played heavy. Do you know which game that would be? Just curious.
What game is that? I'm not.
Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn.
Oh,
When
wow.
it first came out, it was awful. It was buggy. It was crashing. They made sure they got your money for the
DLC
subscription.
Yeah.
To play it online. But then the game was messing up. They shut it down and then re-released the game as A Realm Reborn, completely fixed. And now they work with all the people who love the game, and it's still going today. I think it's over 10, 15 years old now, and it's still going strong. And I'm like, the framework is there.
Yeah.
Like, Sony and Square used to work hand in hand.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would think they'd try it again. Like, Concord, I don't think was unsavable. You just need to, like, work with the people who want to play the game instead of only working with your stakeholders.
Yeah.
And I've said it a million times, ever since these companies start focusing on stakeholders, the quality of games have been going down.
Yeah.
You can easily tell who made a game because they're passionate about making a game versus who made a game that just wants to make money off of it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And that's why I say capitalism is a double-edged sword when it comes to gaming, because of capitalism, we get adaptations of like The Last of Us. We get like, you know, things going into like other realms that are not games, but involve games, like gaming characters and stuff like that. But also on the other end, you get people trying to make sure that Suicide Squad releases so that the WB executives can get their yearly bonus if they meet their quota, or companies being afraid of taking that risk for something like Expedition 33, which in the long run, if Ubisoft had to release that, the narrative around Ubisoft would be a lot different. I mean, even surrounding like Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? Like, for all of the bad negative headlines and things like that it was going through, it ended up being the second highest selling Assassin's Creed of all time, besides Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So, and you wouldn't have expected that. Like, if we had this conversation in February this year, no one would believe you. Everything was pointing in the direction of this game is going to be you guys are forcing diversity down everybody's throat, etc. and so forth. But yeah, like it's whenever, like you said, whenever they start focusing on stakeholders, it goes down the drain. That's kind of why we're seeing what we're seeing from Call of Duty, where instead of fleshing out the campaign and making it what people are used to, you have loot boxes, or not loot boxes, you have chests that you can open that have armor plates, and the whole formatting of everything looks exactly like Warzone. And that's not what we asked.
Art anymore.
Yeah.
It's content.
It's content. Games used to be a work of art, kind of like, I view it kind of like an album or a movie, right? Where back in the day, you could buy a CD, and a CD would have a lot of replay value depending on the quality of the CD itself, the beat selection, the lyrics, the way that it's curated, like the playlist, the way that one song transitions to the next. But instead of focusing on fleshing out zombies, because zombies used to be one of my favorite modes back in like Black Ops 1 and 2 and even 3. The campaigns used to be so much fun. Like I was the type of guy that I would finish the campaign before I touched multiplayer.
Yeah,
now,
video game used to be art. It used to be interactive storytelling.
Now it's about, how can I get you to subscribe? How can I get this store item in front of you at all times? How can I keep you on this game so that no matter what mode you go to, you see that we have a sale? You know what I mean? You get Call of Duty changing the balancing on guns and making guns that are prominent in the shop more powerful than others, because they know that they have this exclusive skin that they want to sell. They want to meet a certain quota on this new weapon skin. It's
what's the word they use? What's the word they use?
The gun is like meta, essentially.
No, not even meta. What I'm talking about in terms of like the industry. What word do they use to keep people on the game? What's the word? Engagement. Engagement.
Yeah.
Engagement is basically a softer way of saying addiction, or get them addicted to the game. That's all they care about. They're trying to find ways to get people addicted to these games so they can stay playing. They just want pay. Like I said, they want pay pigs. That's all they want. They want people just shelling out money, right?
So, like I said, man, going forward, just please be sure that whatever you are putting your money into is something that you are willing to stand behind, because otherwise they're just going to give you whatever, so long as they can put a shop in it. You know what I mean? So, but going into the next topic, I don't know how many people were looking forward to this, but I was. But there's been another setback for the game Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. This is the game that premiered a while ago that had Black Panther and Captain America in the same game, right? What was once positioned as a prestige, narrative-driven Marvel title helmed by Amy Hennig, who comes from a background of The Last of Us and the Uncharted series. Basically, they showcased a prime example of Unreal 5's engine, with the face capture and animations and the graphic fidelity, but it's now been pushed back indefinitely. There is no release window for the game. It's been pushed back, they say, beyond early 2026. Between the absence of real gameplay, because all we've seen is cinematics, and the reliance on said cinematic tech demos and a pattern of repeated delays, the project is sliding from highly anticipated to red flags going off. People are getting a little concerned as to whether or not this game is even going to release. For a game to for a game meant to highlight both Hennick's return to the blockbuster storytelling and Epic's technical muscle through the use of Unreal Engine 5. What do you think is going on behind the scenes? Is this game in trouble? Will it release? Are you even looking forward to it? Cashcar, I want to start with you.
So when the first time I saw the announcement of this game, I was excited because Amy Hennig was attached to it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of hers because of the Uncharted series. Not only that, she also wrote on Soul Reaver.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes, she
Wow,
was
I did not
attached
know
to
she was
Soul
on
Reaver.
that.
So I was like, nah, Amy Hennig is goated. So I had some hope. But
Yeah.
now I'm not too sure. And this also reminds me of something else that she was attached to before they scrapped it. And it was at first it was called Project Jamaica, but they called it something Star Wars Ragtag.
Star Wars 1313.
No, Ragtag. That's a different
Is the
game.
Ragtag one?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's one Ragtag where it was like an ensemble cast that she was also attached to, and they eventually canceled that game.
Wow.
And based on what I heard from Ragtag, that game had crazy potential.
Yeah.
And they scrapped the game because I think at that time it was around the time when Disney was doing the acquisition.
Yeah. Okay.
Exact of Star Wars. So a lot of those, so 1313 got scrapped, Ragtag got scrapped, and a lot of other like Star Wars projects got left on the table, just dead. But this in particular, I was kind of excited. I wanted to see gameplay, but now I'm not really too sure anymore. Like, I don't know how far ahead they were in the production of this game. So if they're pushing this back and there was no real word as to why they're pushing it back, I don't know how many people were actually excited, but me personally, I was. But there wasn't much talk surrounding this game, so
Yeah.
I'm really not sure.
Agreed.
Okay. Hopefully the game comes out and hopefully it's good, but as it stands right now, I'm expecting them to just ignore this. You know, it's another Wolf Among Us situation.
Oh God, not that, not Wolf Among Us. Mr. Pain and Sorrow, man, what are your thoughts on this, man? Are you looking forward to it?
Excited for it. Yeah, I was. My boy, what's his name? Kerry Payton, Cyborg.
Carrie Payton. Black Panther.
Yeah. And I believe they were gonna do something cool where some of these missions you play as Cap, some of the missions you play as Black Panther, and then at some point they had to fight it out, and then maybe they team up to take on like the Red Skull or whatever.
Right.
I was super excited for that because this Black Panther is also a killing Black Panther. It ain't just knocking you out and whatever. This is cut your throat. Panther claws in my daddy chest, Black Panther. You know what I mean? So I had like a little bit of like personal excitement for it.
Yeah.
But with Marvel titles, except for Rivals, up until that point anyway, they had been kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
Like Avengers was a miss, even though I kind of had fun with it, and then it just the fun went away kind of quick.
Okay.
But then Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians was extremely fun. I had a blast with it.
Amazing story.
And then there was something else they released I didn't like. Then you got Rivals. And
Avengers.
I'm still having fun with Rivals. And then now they got it's like a Guilty Gear or this token, whatever fighting
Marvel Token Fighter.
Yeah, I'm like, it looks promising, but it's kind of like, all right, you had a good one, so is this going to be the bad one?
Right.
I don't know. I think it's going to be good though. That one.
I think the problem might be you don't want to release two of your IPs in the same year. You don't need 1943 competing with Wolverine.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Have to go off the table, and I think they chose this one probably because Wolverine was already leaked, and maybe it's further ahead in development than what this one was. Because I think they were supposed to be released a year apart anyway, but now you definitely got to wait a little bit. And again, personal gripe or whatever, I think they should wait until they cast the new T'Challa or whoever they're gonna have
in
play
the
Black
MCU?
Panther. Which there's rumblings right now that it's going to be Mr. Snowfall.
Yeah, Damson Idris.
Damson Idris, yeah.
Yeah, which I would be excited for that because
Yeah, me too.
that dude can act his butt off.
Oh,
Yeah.
facts.
So if you wait until he gets announced as Black Panther and they're about to announce the movie, then you announce this game's about to come out, you either release it before that movie or after it. I think it's going to boost the sales just because people want more of that Marvel IP at that time. So you're feeding both of your economies at that point.
Yeah.
And with Wolverine, I think we're going to buy Wolverine no matter what, per se, as long as they don't release next to GTA. And I did not rhyme on purpose, but I'm going
we'll consider that a bar here in the book. We'll consider that a bar. But I definitely agree with you. I was definitely looking forward to this. I think that before I can really make a judgment on whether or not this, delaying this indefinitely was a good decision, I need to see gameplay. Like the cutscenes, I love a good story, right? But I've been fooled before where the cutscenes look amazing, then the game drops and you're blue screening all the time, or the game drops and the gameplay loop is just, it's boring. You know what I mean? I need to see what we're getting into. And I think the dual protagonist method, I think you might have been on to something like that. And I think that they're trying to figure out a way to incorporate both of their gameplay aspects in a way that I guess doesn't like take a person out of the game, right? And we're in a time where, even though this is Black Panther, right? This isn't just any other like black person, I guess. We live in a time where, there's going to be a lot of bad actors that come out talking about this game here and about having to play as Black Panther. And then there's going to be some people that are mad that this is, in a specific time frame where you have to kill Nazis. You know what I mean? Like, this is definitely a weird time. But I think majority of it is the mix of GTA getting delayed, because I think this delay was announced a little bit after GTA 6 was delayed. And then now because of that delay, the Wolverine game, I'm pretty sure it's going to get pushed back to 2027. I don't see a world where they stay in 2026. I think it gets pushed back to 2027. And I think that they're using that as a way to buy themselves a little bit more time to figure out the finer details of this. I mean, by now, the cinematics and the tech and stuff like that, it's been like a year and some change. If you had gameplay to show for a game like this, you would have shown it. You would have shown something by now, at least something with like a HUD, or, even if it's like 2 seconds and it's him throwing one punch, you would have had something. So I think they're still trying to figure out how to piece the gameplay aspects together in a way that is seamless. But again, I hope this game releases. Again, only time will tell. But speaking of releasing Black Ops 7, now we can talk about the Black Ops 7 release and how bad of a state this kind of released in, right? From unusual campaign elements being forced into the game mode, such as a mission where you have to fight a giant monster version of one of the teammates in a nightmare realm, to teaming up with zombies, and plenty of anti-consumer game decisions such as no pause functionality in a single player mode, and requiring a constant online internet connection for a single player mode. And then on top of all that, a lack of checkpoints in a mission. Like, what? Anyways, meaning progress is lost if the mission is not completed in one sitting, or if the internet drops, which you have to maintain in order to connect to the single player mode, you have to start that mission all over again from the beginning. Call of Duty has gone from a badass game about war that tackled serious topics to like basically an extension of a battle royale mode, because they've even forced in an extraction mode at the end of the campaign now. CoD has lost its way. The success of new IPs like Arc Raiders, which currently, as I am speaking, I think has more higher concurrent players than Call of Duty does. But with the emergence of new IP that have been successful, I think that the competition, COD is just not like a shoe-in, right? versus being in a space like 2K, where 2K is going to be successful. Madden is going to be successful because there is no other sports game to take someone's engagement away from those games. You either play those games or you don't play a football game or you don't play a basketball game, right? But I think competition is crucial for the gaming industry as it forces developers to innovate, such as in the example of Overwatch 2 and their increase in content output after Marvel Rivals put BTA this past year. I'm not gonna lie, Marvel Rivals is fun, and we've been seeing a lot of in-game content. We've been seeing a lot of changes. They've been more responsive to the community as well. But could COD reclaim its reputation as a story-driven, high-quality shooter, or is the franchise just irreversibly focused on catering to multiple multiplayer game modes at the expense of a coherent single-player campaign? Cashcrow, I want to start with you.
How long is the campaign nowadays? I fell off of the Call of Duty wagon a long time ago, and I don't really plan on going back. But Pizzo, I did say we could play together. But I'm over that addiction, thankfully. You know what I mean?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Like 3-4 years strong now. So thank
congratulations.
You. Oh, okay. Did you get your chip yet?
No, I didn't. But but I feel like every year I feel like the campaign is getting less and less because it's less of a focus on that, and they're making it painfully obvious. They don't care about the campaign.
For sure.
Like this one is like, it's the most un-Call of Duty campaign I've ever seen. I've seen a trailer where they're shooting at a giant, and I'm like, what the hell am I actually looking at? This cannot be Call of Duty.
Look like Resident Evil did.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, is this zombies mode? They're like, no, this is the main campaign. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Main campaign? No.
What am I playing, bro?
But the thing is, apparently the gunplay is actually fun. Like the gunplay for multiplayer is fun. So again, it goes back to that. That's all they're focused on. They don't care about anything but that. And I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest with you guys. Like, I feel like we don't have enough. Like, we have been seeing like single player games for sure, but the industry, you can tell that the industry has no interest in that. They really don't, right? The games that we see that are like quote unquote AAA games, I feel like it's mismanaged as well because they dump so much money into single player games, and then when that game underperforms, people just don't want to play single player games. That's not the case. You guys are putting way too much money into single player games. I'm pretty sure Expedition 33 came out with a fraction of any Ubisoft game's budget, and that game sold gangbusters. A beautiful game, a fun gameplay loop. The game was amazing. People loved the story. They got Charlie Cox as the main character.
I was shocked, bro.
Right?
I found that out like a few months after. I was like, wait, are you serious?
Exactly. So now explain to me how are people not playing single player games again? You guys are ballooning the budget and then expecting like a crazy return on that investment. You can't do that. It's the same thing with the movie industry. They've pumped so much money in the movie industry, and when these movies, I've seen movies make like millions at the box office, and they still say it underperforms, and I'm like, are you crazy?
Yeah, they put 500 billion into the movie to make it, and now you're not turning a profit.
You're not turning a profit. So somebody needs to they need to focus on their budget. That's all this is. That's all this is. People want single player games. Right? But they're trying to convince us that that's not the case. People don't want that. That's a lie. That's a lie because you want to propagate the idea that nobody wants single player games, so you can then move on to multiplayer games. And we got live service slop for people to just go like, bro, it comes down to this, right? Everybody has their main addiction, if you will, right? Or their core game that they're gonna always go back to. New games may come out, you may try out these multiplayer games, but ultimately people are gonna go back to those games no matter what.
Facts.
You have to have an insane gameplay loop for people to abandon these games that they've put so much time and investment in. This is what these guys want, our attention, because that's more valuable. That comes with a lot of money.
Okay. And Mr. Pain and Sorrow, what are your thoughts, man? What
So
has
I'm gonna piggyback off what he was just saying as well.
yeah.
So a lot of what I've been seeing is people try and pull up the current player count, especially like on Steam,
Yeah.
and they'll try and say like, "Oh yeah, well Call of Duty still has like 200,000 players right now playing, and God of War only has like 60,000 or something like that. So look how much the player base drops off." And it's like, well, it's because it's a single player game, and once you beat it and have done everything, you kind of move on to the next game.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys play Call of Duty, and we talked about addiction earlier. You guys get stuck in that Call of Duty bubble, and then their battle pass does expire. So it's like, well, I need to make sure I get my money's worth because I paid $80 for the game, unless you got it on Game Pass now, I guess.
Yeah,
But
true.
then you pay $40 for the Game Pass Battle Pass, man. And so now you have to make sure you get all your guns, and you have to keep playing it. And it's like, well, the player count for a multiplayer game should technically always be higher than a single player game, because if you don't have enough multiplayer people, then there's no one to play against. You're just not going to be able to do anything. So the fact that single player games have been killing the multiplayer industry is kind of crazy. It makes sense to us who like actually enjoy story or actually enjoy playing games, but for other people, like I guess it's always down Twitter. They're like, oh well, multiplayer games should do this, multiplayer games should do that, and you got like some high-ranking streamers even will say they don't think, or one person says Arc Raiders should have been nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh God.
And it was like, well,
That game
it's
just
an
came out.
extraction shooter. I was like, the ones that were nominated, every single one of those I thought was super fantastic. And you brought up like Charlie Cox was in Expedition 33, freaking Jeffrey Wright and a bunch of other people.
Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I was like, they got a bunch of voice actors, and then like, even if you beat the game one way, they've made it so you can keep playing it at least 2-3 other ways to get a bunch of different endings and things.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, once you get all the endings, then yeah, maybe you do go and play something different. But like with Call of Duty, they try and just keep you in there. And I swear, I'm at the point now, I can't tell what Call of Duty somebody's playing just off of looking at it, because it all looks the same. And I don't know how many times Nuketown's been redone, but like it's just like over and over and over. And I'm like, I need something new. Like, I don't even like watching people play Call of Duty anymore too much. At least with the new Battlefield, you get some new things happening. But Call of Duty, it's almost someone gets a gun, they're running through somewhere, shooting. Someone knows a spot to camp. They're just getting snipes, and it's just kind of rinse and repeat. When Call of Duty first came out, I remember they used to have actual war vets who would narrate the game, and you would play through a story of what they shared, like an actual thing that happened. And I'm like, okay. And when like Modern Warfare came out, they had actual people who fought overseas, and they talked to them to create like a story mode or whatever. And the games are really, really good. Now you're AI, or you're plugged into a machine and it's AI, and the AI gets corrupted, and now you're fighting robot people and teleporting, and just I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Well,
yeah, I want me to blow your mind real quick.
What's that?
Yeah.
Something that a lot of people may not have noticed with Call of Duty, right? Since Call of Duty is essentially now a platform, right?
Yeah, essentially,
Yeah, because if you look at Steam, it just says Call of Duty. It doesn't tell you what current game it is. So when you see those high player counts, it's being inflated because there's multiple people playing different calls of duties. Right?
Yeah.
But it just looks like one. No, it is. They inflate their numbers. That's what's happening, because a lot of people are probably not even playing Black Ops 7 right now. Right? There are more people on other games, but they all get piled into that one thing that says Call of Duty, because that's all. It's inflated.
Yeah, that's nasty work, man. That is nasty work. And Mr. Pain and Sorrow, I'm glad that you brought up AI because that actually goes into our last topic tonight here. Generative AI is increasingly becoming part of the mainstream game development, sparking debate over its role in AAA and indie titles alike. Activision actually confirmed that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 uses generative AI to assist in asset creation, though it's not been specified what specific applications. With speculation pointing to the calling card artwork, social media reactions are mixed. Some players are frustrated that AI might be replacing the work of real talented human studio artists, while others accept it as an inevitable industry trend. Now, Steam data actually, this is interesting, but Steam data shows that there's an 800% increase in games disclosing AI use, suggesting that nearly 8,000 titles now report generative AI involvement. Meanwhile, games like Arc Raiders defend AI integration as a tool to increase efficiency in content creation and live service operations, while still emphasizing human creativity in the final product. Industry leaders from EA, Square Enix, and other studios have advocated for AI adoption as central to competitiveness, though companies like Nintendo continue to resist the trend, surprisingly enough, because in any other way, they make questionable decisions. But at what point does generative AI go from being a legitimate tool to improve efficiency and creativity in game development to a tool that undermines the work of real human talented artists? Cash Crow, want to hear from you
Bro,
first.
let me explain to you. With any new technology, there's gonna always be bad actors. But I think AI is here to stay. Like, you can fight tooth and nail all you want. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. It's a tool to be used. Now, I don't think somebody that is, because you're gonna see it. If somebody's not creative and they're using AI, you're gonna be able to tell. 100%. 100%.
True.
If they're copying somebody else's homework, guys, we'll know that that's what they're doing, right? You're not going to get props for that. But this is for people who are in the industry, who are working, who are doing what they need to do to get shit done. Because AI helps you to get certain aspects of your job done faster. Or think about like a lot of like the tedious work. We're not even talking about like art specific. But like some of like the tedious, like clerical stuff, you can use AI for that. And if you look at a lot of software, DaVinci Resolve as AI now.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Unreal as AI now. Like a lot of these softwares that we're using have AI now. Even Canva has AI.
Damn, man.
Like
everywhere you go.
It's everywhere because they realize that it's a useful tool, right? But like I said, we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, guys. we just can't. We can't. AI is here to stay. It's how we use it. It's how we use it moving forward, right? It's not going anywhere because people are seeing that it can be used very effectively.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like storytelling, like a good storyteller, you can't just tell me to write a good story. You can't tell AI to just write me a good story and you're gonna get a perfect story. It's not gonna happen. You have to be creative. But people make it feels like this is like AI is this like catch-all thing where it's gonna turn anybody into like this famous celebrity or a famous writer for just no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that go into art, into creating, into developing these things. Like AI is not gonna do well, not yet anyways. Not yet anyways. But as it stands right now, it's just a tool to be used to make people's life easy. Think about like crunch, right?
Yeah.
Like that in itself can help alleviate crunch to some degree with some people, with certain things. So it's definitely, I feel like it's a very useful tool. It all depends on how it's being used.
Yeah. It's how you use it, man. It can be used or abused. And what are your thoughts on this, Mr. Pain and Sorrow? Are you with this? Are you just kind of accepting it? What's up?
As long as you're the one using the tool and not letting the tool use you, I think you could be in good spacing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is a couple years ago, there was a bunch of celebrities who sold their likenesses to AI companies. So I'm imagining in a few years, we're gonna be seeing games and whatnot with like Snoop Dogg doing blah 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 or Justin Bieber
God.
doing blah blah blah, and because I think those are two I remember who sold. What I worry about though is it's gonna cost some people their jobs, and we might
Yeah, true.
get cheated a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's the name? Troy Baker,
Troy
Barker,
Baker.
whatever.
Yeah, I was a yeah.
So phenomenal voice actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What if? Because I want to say most of the voice actors are in a the word just left me. They're in a group or whatever, so you can't use AI to just clone their voice without their say so. You have to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
But the up and coming voice actors who are going to take over after these guys are gone, they might not be able to do that.
Right. Right.
Guild, the
Actors Guild.
Actors Guild, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
I imagine
SAG after or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna have somebody who could be the next Troy, but they're gonna have them do like, I don't know, lines for a day, and then after that use AI to just complete it and just give them a paycheck for their work for that day. And that's one thing I am concerned about is we as a consumer might get cheated because of that. They wanted to save some money instead of voice actors.
Yeah.
But with the story, I like what you were saying, that AI can be used to enhance the story. You could be like, I am writing a war game, it's blah 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 is happening, blah blah what's happening, help me fill in some of the gaps. So you've provided the foundation and it's just giving you extras to fill it in. I think that would be okay. But if you're like, I need a story for a war game, and it's like blah 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 blah, let's add in blah 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 blah, and then you just get all AI slop the entire way through, you can tell like you did the bare minimum for this story. And I can see that happening.
Yeah, but at that point, you can tell that that's garbage. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
you would be
that's
able
right.
to tell
I
that
was
that's
agreeing
garbage.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was agreeing with you on
So
that.
there's no way. So which is why I'm saying like to say that AI is gonna steal, and definitely it is possible. I'm not saying it's not, but people will be able to tell when like you're using AI to do these things.
But then what do you do? So like Arc Raiders uses AI. There is not necessarily another game like Arc Raiders out there. So your choice is you either play that game or you go back to a different extraction shooter, which would be like, say, like a Gray Zone or a Tarkov.
Right.
And those games aren't bad, but it's not like Arc Raiders. As far as I know, I haven't seen another post-apocalyptic extraction shooter, PvE type of game like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of get put into a corner. And then Square Enix is doubling down on AI.
Like a lot of these guys are.
Yeah,
that worries me because like Square Enix, I always think Final Fantasy for the most part, their story and their music scores. That's what I can usually always count on with a Square game. But now if you go full AI, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. How much is AI being used though in Arc Raiders? I didn't look into that.
So to my knowledge, the use of the AI is really just with like one-off lines. So like when a raider, or they're called, each individual player is called a raider, but like they'll have generic voice 1, 2, 3 through all the way through whatever number, right? And for them, like ping in an area or danger here, or you want to team up, or hi, that's what the AI is used for. It's just generic voice lines, essentially. It's not like they actually have cutscenes in the game. They have paid actors that voice those lines and stuff like that. But when it comes to the dynamics of like being in game and you not having your mic on, but the character speaking, that's what the AI is used for. So
can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
What if someone has an amazing idea, right? And they use AI to develop this amazing idea and turn it into a phenomenal game. Are we saying that this person is not an artist because they used AI to develop this game? Like if they built, like they're using AI to just essentially assist in them developing this story, developing the mechanics and the gameplay, but the idea is solely theirs, but they're just using AI. Like, what if somebody doesn't know how to like code or whatever, so they use AI to code?
My thing is, so like if you're using
That's
AI,
just me. I'm playing devil's
yeah,
advocate
no,
here.
I hear
Are
you.
we saying that Are we saying that that person is not an artist because they used AI to code?
So my thing is, if you use it to lay the groundwork, not the creative aspect of it, like if you use it to write a story from beginning, like an interesting twist, an interesting main character and stuff like that, that's where I'm like, okay, that's not you. But if you're using it, because it's still not going to be ethical, because essentially people want you to pay a coder to make a game. Like that's a
But
job.
what if I
that
can't afford a
somebody,
coder? What if I can't afford a
and
coder?
that's where the
You see what I'm
devil's
talking about now?
advocate comes in. But
Yeah.
Right.
but for me, like I can't give credit to a person that used AI for 80% of their creative work versus somebody that either, if you couldn't afford it, you took time out to like wait until you could afford it, or found some other means of actually being able to get other people involved, and like there was blood, sweat, and tears put into it. Because I'll give you an example. There's a black woman that whose AI artist is being considered for Grammy nominations, and people are like, they feel a way about that because she's not the one that's singing it.
But that's what I'm saying. That I think is bullshit. But what I'm saying is, if somebody is like, they're just using it at that platform, so to speak, as their canvas to like create stuff.
Me personally,
solely their idea.
If you come up with the game direction, if you come up with the art style, if you come up with the stories, the characters, and things like that, if you use AI as a means of just filling in what you literally are not trained to do, I'm more forgiving for that. But I know that there is a plethora of people that are going to give you crap because you didn't reach out to somebody that knows how to code those things into a game. But me personally, I'm not going to go after you for using AI for something that that you literally would not be able to do and would take years essentially to be able to do well. So
right.
But yeah, that's just me though.
I agree with what Pizzo just said. It's really dependent upon how much you are actually using it versus how much you're gonna let it use you.
Yeah.
If you just are telling it, I need a story that involves blah blah blah, oh, I need this in my story, and you're not really contributing to it,
right,
I'm a little bit frowned on that. And then if you are using AI to
100%.
code, I don't think you can call yourself a coder. Like, you're letting the AI do the work. Now, that being said, if you know how to code and you need to do the advanced part of coding and you don't need the mundane beginning part of it, and you let AI do that part for you, I think that's fine. Because there's certain levels to coding sometimes, and like once you hit a certain level on that, some of that checks and balances can be real mundane when you're trying to get into the real meat and potatoes of the whole thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. Well, we've come to the end of the show, and it looks like we have a decided winner. Okay, Mr. Pain and Sorrow, you have come up to the score of 36. Cash Crow, you have come up to the score of 37. So before you go, Mr. Pain and Sorrow, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you get your spiel off, let the people know where they can find you, and
All right. Hey, Mr. Pain and Sorrow, I am streaming every Thursday through Sunday on Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. We have our podcast, the Broken in the Bold, every other Saturday. And right now we are on Marvel Rivals, we are on Dispatch, and then we are also on Played Up, and then also Goes to Yote. We're kind of mixing it up a little bit right now, being a variety streamer and all that stuff. Also part of Regiment, which is the world's biggest military gaming group.
Hey.
And I stream on there every Friday. But yeah, catch me on there anything with Mr. Pain and Sorrow.
All right. Well, Mr. Pain and Sorrow, unfortunately, gotta get you out, man. But for our winner today, Mr. Cashco, congratulations, man. Congratulations, man. Making up for the L we took the last time around, man. Ended up getting out here with the W at 37 points, which I think is the highest amount of points I think anybody's had on this show, man. So
Oh,
congratulations.
word?
Yeah.
See, I came back with a
Congratulations.
vengeance.
It
Sean.
would've-
I told you. Hell, this is for the people who didn't believe. I'm sorry.
Well, Cash Crow, man, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Listen, y'all guys can find me on twitch.tv at CashCrowTV or on YouTube at youtube.com at CashCrow. Also, go check out the podcast, the Gamer Actual Podcast.
Yes,
and
sir.
Cash Crow on every other platform. So,
Yes,
yeah, that's
sir.
pretty
Yes,
much
sir.
it.
All right. Listen, man, I enjoyed having you on this show. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join us on such short notice. I gotta get better with that, man. But again, it's
Good to be
always
here,
a
bro.
pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have you on here, Mr. Pain and Sorrow. Thank you as well for joining. We look forward to having both of y'all on either an episode of this or just any other gaming discussion. It's always a good time on,
For sure,
on
bro,
both
for
of your
sure.
respective shows. And please take the time out, if you have not already, check out the KXI Collective, check out Gamer Actual Podcast, check out Mr. Pain and Sorrow, check out the Broken in the Bold podcast as well. As for this show, I go by the name of Pizzo Plays. Tomorrow, we are going to be live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, to cover the Xbox Partner Showcase. It will be here at twitch.tv/Pizzo Plays. I look forward to having a gaming conversation with you all. Until then, make sure you hug your people, tell them that you love them, and I will see y'all next time.